Hi. Thank you for listening, coming and listening. I always appreciate it. Everyone's time is valuable, and so I very much appreciate you taking the time to listen. Anyway, I wanted to tell you about a little event I went to this past week up in Des Moines, Iowa. There was the Iowa Ag Show. So big farm equipment show and supplies and all that kind of thing. And I had never been. And so I ended up going up with a friend and an acquaintance and someone new that I had never met before. So they are all from the farming business. They've been at it different times, you know. There was a younger gentleman, a middle-aged man, and then someone closer to my age. So they'd had various degrees of experience, but it became blatantly clear that I had no clue about what all this, you know. I understand some of the equipment, you know. I was in the landscape business for 20 years, so I understood what a bobcat was, or a skag lawnmower, and Kubotas and all that kind of stuff. But there was some equipment there I didn't even know existed. Large stuff. But what struck me about it was that these guys knew so much, or it seemed like so much to me, because I know so very little. And I just thought that that's interesting, that's somewhat similar to when I talk to people about whole life insurance, that many times they kind of know what it is, but they don't really have an understanding of how it can work, you know, different levers you can pull, and all those kinds of things. That there's a number of things that most people don't know. They might read something and you don't know how the source, how reputable the source might be, and all of that. And that struck me, that my understanding of whole life was similar to their understanding of the farming, and that I could ask questions, no pun intended, till the cows come home, and they were more than happy to answer. And boy, they knew their stuff. So with that experience, early in this week, I also had another experience that kind of tied into it. And that was that I went to a regular bank that I have a relationship with, and I signed some documents to have a line of credit, which I've had since before I even started the whole life business. You know, I've had it for years and years, and so, you know, I haven't used it in a couple of years, but I just went in and signed up. But what struck me about it as I was doing it was there were some changes at the bank, and so they had more. You'd think this would be a simple thing because the line of credit is very small, and they had oodles of pages for me to sign, multiple pages to sign for different reasons and all of that. And then there was a couple of things that were forgotten, and so I had to either come in and do something else, or do something online, sign some more documents. But what struck me while I was at the bank was that when it comes to whole life insurance, if you have a policy with cash value and all that kind of stuff, which we have way more in cash value than what I was signing up for, that there's none of that with whole life. You don't do any of this. And I mentioned it to the gentleman that was helping me. You have so much control. Number one, control. You can take out the loan anytime you want. You don't have to, not that I had to show tax returns here, but if you were getting a mortgage or whatever, you'd have to show tax returns and all that kind of stuff. So, it's just how much do I want? When do I want to pay it back? It's very private. Nobody knows that you're doing this. But you in the life insurance company, I would not have to sign any papers. I wouldn't even actually have to talk to anyone. All I have to do is go into a portal, our portal, and just request a certain dollar amount. And a number of days later, it would end up in my bank account. And that really struck me because I had done this a couple of times since I've been in the life insurance business. But it was like, it went off like a light bulb this time for some reason. Last year it didn't, the time before. Never really thought about that. But this time, it hit me right between the eyes that, wow, this seems so odd to be doing this because I haven't had to do it for any loans that we've taken and done things around the house or whatever. And it just struck me how powerful it really was. And this was a real life, real world experience. And I guess everybody has their time when these things will hit you. And it can be very freeing. And it also was really apparent to me how powerful and how freeing, again, that it is to own this asset. And it is an asset. It's much like owning any other asset, a house or things like that. That there are people that will buy these from you if you decide that you want to surrender it. Aside from the life insurance company giving you some surrender money, other people will buy it as well. So it was really interesting that it just finally hit me how powerful it was, because I've taken a number of loans, large and small, and paid them back. It's very important, pay them back. But anyway, I just wanted to leave you with how freeing it was to have that aha moment. And, we all have our aha moments at different times, I guess, for different reasons. As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And it just appeared in my mind that this seemed so odd. As I was signing, it just felt odd. And anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. That is just one aspect of the whole life policy, that you have this amount of control with it. So anyway, much like those farmers that were willing to share information with me as I had questions about different things that I was seeing, I just want to say that that's why I'm here for the life insurance side of things. That I love to talk about it. I love to, if I have the time, I'll just stay on with you as long as it takes. I really want you to know what I know, so that you would know how to handle yourself if I were not around. That you would know for a fact how this works and live with it. And the more you live with it, the more you'll have those aha moments. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions about a current policy you might have or one that you're contemplating, please do reach out, and we can talk until the cows come home. All right. Take care, and thanks so much again for listening. Oh, and please, if you could, please share this, comment, like it. It's very helpful to get this message out. So thank you, and have a blessed day.